Hello, welcome back to The Good, the Bad and the Stupid. It's Tuesday the 15th of October. Hope you've had a good day. I've had a good day. I've had a big win today. Well, what feels like a big win. And I'm going to share it with you in case anybody out there has had similar issues. I've been hounded by British Gas for the past 2 months over an unpaid bill. An unpaid bill which they fucking magicked up out of nowhere. I've not been with them since January. And anyway, they said that they have drawn up my final reading or final bill like 7 months after leaving them. And I said, I don't owe you nothing. And they just they've kept hounding me, and it's reached debt collector letters, and I've had to make a complaint. And the guy who's called me from the complaints team, Mr. fucking Jobsworth, won't listen to anything other than the fact that you owe them money. Fucking bullshit British Gas complaints man who, complaints almost fucking useless because he's one tracked and one-sided. Anyway, I had to speak to my own provider and try and get to the bottom of it that way. And when we've looked into the small details of it, British Gas are billing me over £800, mind you, 850 quid. I must have a fucking weed factory going on for that amount of money that they're trying to bill me as a final reading after I paid up before I left them. Anyway, this is going on a bit, innit? I'm going to get to the bottom of it. But anyway, so I told them, my providers, and they've come back after checking my meter reading. My meter reading is 66762. British Gas are billing me for 68370. Which means they're billing me for more electricity than I'm actually have used up till now. And I've not been with them for 8 months. So there you go. Fucking Ron Paul of the Bailey has got to the bottom of it. And they're billing me for 9 months worth of electricity that I've not even fucking used. So there we go. I can't wait to speak to the smug bastard that's been ringing me and hassling me over the past couple of weeks and tell him just where to go. Because I've got all the evidence, and therefore I've actually saved £800, 850 quid as of today. I haven't made any money today, but that's as good as a win as I'm going to get, so happy with that. Anyway, speaking of morons, enough whinging, let's get on to the news. Speaking of morons, the England-Bulgaria game was on last night, wasn't it? And you had that section of fans that were giving the monkey chants and Nazi salutes, depends on where your regional accent's from, Nazi or Nazi. So small minority, they're all young idiots as well, weren't they? And they all got kicked out, and the pictures all over the paper, so they just look stupid and thick, and they should be made to go off to an Auschwitz death camp or something like that after what they were doing, and face what they're doing full on, because they probably don't even understand. They're just fucking idiots, and a group of them together thinking they're funny, but really they just made themselves look like fucking real idiots, and probably their grandparents and other people will tell them, hopefully, just like their captain did, who went over to the fence and was basically giving his opinion on it, which was good of him to do that. So still fucking idiots out there, and it doesn't, one day one of those or a few of those will be really embarrassed and will come out and say so to somebody. But as it stands, there's still people out there who are ruining it for other people, because my point I was going to get to was the rest of the ground weren't doing that, so they're just labelling Bulgarians or whatever with that brush. But I was actually speaking with a Bulgarian yesterday, last night actually, after it happened, and he was disgusted, not just with the result, but also he was disgusted with that because it looks bad on them. So can't tar everybody with the same brush, but they're fucking young enough to grow up and be really embarrassed by that, I imagine. So anyway, let's move on to more light-hearted situation, and that is the 5-inch Branflake that was as big as a cereal bowl that was found in somebody's Branflakes from Aldi. This always makes the news, doesn't it? The oversized cereal, the oversized Branflake this time. It's as big as somebody's hand there. It's bigger than the bowl. And the woman was that shocked that she's called up the newspapers and got paid for her story. So good for her. Probably, hopefully they paid her. Otherwise, it's fucking waste of time, really, isn't it? It was found in an 83 pence box of Harvest Morn from Aldi. That's cheap, 83p for a box of cereals. Might have to get myself down there. Anyway, I'll show you. Okay, I'm going to show it to the video version. Podcast, imagine a huge Branflake. When I first saw that, I thought it said Branflake found, first of all. So I thought it was a new illness that somebody's discovered. But anyway, so there you go. If you find an oversized bit of food or whatever, it always makes the papers. You know which paper I'm talking about, so you'll get some money if you want, because they haven't got any other decent stories in there to talk about. It's only Wag Central or another load of shit. But anyway, we wouldn't have this podcast if it wasn't for the shit stories that come into those newspapers anyway. Speaking of which, I think Vinnie Jones has come out and give his opinion on that Wag story, and he said it's embarrassing for the players because the wives are fucking, you know, going off at each other, and it's embarrassing because the players, because they're all basically on it's all the wives of the players, and the players just have to kind of go, probably fucking tutting. They probably want to get on, Rooney and was it Vardy? They probably want to get on, but they've had to become not friends because of the situation that's going on, and you know, it's just boring, isn't it, really? It's the wags. Who wants to be called a wag, for God's sake? You know what I mean? You've got to be somebody in your own right. You can't just be the wag, the wife of a footballer. You got to have something about you and go and get your own sort of fucking personality, perhaps. Just my opinion. I'm obviously I'm on my high horse today after fucking doing one over the British Gas. Anyway, not all footballers are too clever at the moment, because was it Paul Gascoigne? Although he gets the benefit of the doubt slightly because he's struggles with his alcohol problems, but he's in court, isn't he, today? And he looks quite well considering. So he looks quite smart and quite well considering as he has looked. So on that respect, I'll give him you know, a thumbs up. But he's in court because he was drunkenly forcing himself, well, not forcing himself, he drunkenly grabbed a bird and a girl and gave her a kiss on the lips on the train, and she called the police, and he's ended up in court. He probably could have just got a caution, really. I mean, he just basically grabbed her and gave her a kiss, which was an unwanted kiss on her face, and he was being pissed and being an idiot, which, you know, a lot of alcoholics do. So really, it's gone a lot further than it fucking should have, to be fair, but he's already been shamed and put through the newspapers, and really, did it really have to go that far for something that is pretty much like a drunken idiot's behaviour that should really just be a telling off? Anyway, he looks smart and well, so maybe it's done him a favour in that respect. So who am I to say what is right for getting the Manuel, or whether it should be wasting the court's times, really? I don't know. Hopefully there's no it's not all about compensation. It's about fucking what's right and wrong, I suppose. Anyway, I'm going to dig myself a hole here. I'm getting off it. Let's talk about the grand that ran herself over. Whew, that's it. Let's talk about. Can I talk about this? I can, because she survived and she's just bruised. But she actually got out of a car to go and move her gate, or open her gate, and the car handbrake came off and ran her over. I'm telling this so that you don't do this mistake at home. The car carried on and hit her and knocked her over. Luckily, she only got bruised and whatever. But there is photos here, and she has been knocked for 6. But I think she was tough enough to take it and laugh it off. Not quite as bad as when Brian Harvey out of East 17 ran himself over in his own car when he was lucky. I don't know, how did he manage to do that? I think he was throwing up out of his car and somehow fell out of the car. Remember this? And he ran out. It was a big story at the time, in the Sun, of course. But he ran himself over in his own car. If you're not from this country, we have people that do silly things like that, you know. Opened his own car door, fell out of it and ran himself over. But he lived to tell the tale, and he wasn't that badly injured. Otherwise, I wouldn't be laughing at it here and now. So, what's this in America? Nike have released some trainers with what's it called? Holy water in the bubble, holy water in the Nike bubble, and they sold for £2,500. Are they Nike? No, they're a company called MSCHF. So the Jesus shoes, they're calling them, are made of 100% frankincense wool, whatever that is, with a golden Jesus on a crucifix as a shoelace charm, and they sold out within minutes, despite prices as high as 2,500. Again, a fool and their money. I wonder if these people were religious or they bought them just because they think they can resell them on later on. I don't know, but if you do, you think you're going to be walking on water, but really, you've just lost £2,500 in my book, because they sound shit, and you know, you'd have to be religious to wear them, wouldn't you? Because I don't think anybody else. There's only other religious people will be going, oh, they're fucking brilliant, they are. Oh, I wish I'd have bought some, whatever. Everybody else is just going to go, they're just crap anyway. They're not Nike, they're not this, they're not that, or whatever. And they've got like a Jesus thing on them and holy water in them. Shit. So, you know, you're only going to be having your back scratched by or rubbed by fellow Christians or fellow fools, if you like. Yeah, so there we go. You're not going to catch me in any trainers like that anytime soon. I've run out of anything to say on that, to be honest with you. I'm going to move on to the Oxford Dictionary that's just been accused of dumbing down after including a string of slang words such as something and whatevs, word buffs. So this is all like the young kids' catchphrases that they're coming out with, and some of them are you know, some of them I don't know what the fuck they're talking about half the time, but they've made their way into the dictionary, and they probably don't even, probably do need explaining in some respects, because something and whatevs, I kind of can get what they mean, but there's some other ones that nobody knows what the hell they mean. So what else has gone in there? Buck naked has gone in there. Obviously we know what that one means, completely naked. Cocky, a cockroach. Jaffacan, there you go. No idea what that is. Jaffacan is a person who adopts Jamaican culture in a way regarded as inauthentic. I thought he was a well, no, it's a trustafarian, I was going to say then, but that's just a rich white guy with dreadlock hair that has just literally got it for all the wrong reasons. He's got it just because he can't be bothered to wash his hair and like doesn't want to partake in society. It's got nothing to do with Rastafarians, has it? So a trustafarian, I don't know whether that's even in the dictionary, but kapow, representing a sound of an explosion. Is that new? That's been around since bloody Batman days. Omnishambles, a situation that is comprehensively mismanaged. Simples, used to indicate that something is very straightforward. Of course, that's bloody what's it called? What's them creatures off the Just Compared or whatever? That's been around since then. So slam dunk, a move in basketball. That's not even new. That's bullshit. So there's a few words in the Oxford Dictionary. No need to buy it because really they're nothing that I would ever use. So let's move on to the broccoli activist who's been held for breach of the peas. That's what he's been saying, so that's quite funny. The guy dressed as a piece of broccoli down at the Extinction Rebellion protest has been arrested, and it's quite funny because I don't know if he tried to get himself arrested. If he did, then it's a clever move because the cops just look stupid trying to carry him off or, you know, trying to put a piece of broccoli in the back of the bloody police van, and he was shouting, "Give peas a chance." And I guess, you know, gave everybody a laugh. He gave me a laugh anyway, and he's made the papers as well. So he's got his message across. Give peas a chance if you are listening, and really, if you think about it, he's talking about the peas. Farmers, we're not going to have any peas if the fucking world heats up and all the crops die, and we're all going to be struggling and not have nothing to eat, and then we're in dire straits. So there you go, that's his message. Give peas a chance, and don't arrest broccoli if you don't want to look stupid. Was it Glastonbury? Fleetwood Mac are not going to be playing Glastonbury. That's a shame. That would have been good as a headliner. Better than fucking Spice Girls or some other shit that they come up with. But The Cure were brilliant last year. This year, I only watched it on the TV, but they were brilliant. And I actually must admit that I didn't know The Cure would be that good. I've never watched them live. I always remember that all the girls used to be into it when we were at school, and one or two tunes and whatever, and they were good. But I thought they were fucking bang on when I watched them do the headline set on the Sunday at Glastonbury. Anyway, Fleetwood Mac are not going to be playing. So, and it's over money, which is a shame, because if they did it, you know, if they thought about it with hindsight, they would fucking sell a ton more records, because they're going to reach Glastonbury just reaches fans that would never have possibly have listened to them so far or up till now, and they'll end up downloading or buying all their records and whatever else. So they're missing a trick there, I think. Anyway, maybe another time. Little charity shop of horrors. Charity shop has had to call in a Ghostbuster to rid a store of a mischievous spirit who threw stock and scared off customers. So terrified staff members had to close the shop, Age UK, because there's a ghoul in a tweed cap with matching jacket and trousers who threw items at worker Kathy Pitts. So this guy is distinctive ghost because he obviously looks the part. Sure, it wasn't a real bloke who's come in and is pissed off about something and started throwing shit around, because you know, do ghosts wear caps and jackets and all that kind of stuff? Anyway, this guy is. And you can imagine, actually, ghosts, they're the place to find ghosts, aren't they? Because all the belongings in charity shops often end up being dead people's stuff. So the ghosts could be attached to the clothing, if you like, and appear there. So it's just strange. It's not the first charity shop to report you know, fucking scary goings on. Anyway, apparently he's been throwing stuff around because he's not happy with people handling his old clothes and whatever. So there you go. He scared the shit out of them workers. So I don't think any of them are going to be coming back to work while that's going on. So they'll have to get the, what's it called, the priest down and do his exorcism. Although, you know, it's only an old guy throwing clothes around, so it's not like the worst. You know, no blood and guts or gore yet. So maybe if he fucking sets upon the charity workers and starts killing them one by one, like Jason out of Friday the 13th, then we've got a problem. Might be a good thing. It could be like, what's it called? Get tourists in. Everyone who likes a good ghost tour might get the ghosts to go down there and tourists to go down and try and spot him, charge him every time. That's fucking money towards the charity, isn't it? So there you go. You can have that idea on me. Two heroic tip workers sifted through hundreds of bin bags to find a £3,000 engagement ring. There you go. Maybe this is what this guy was doing. He was looking for something, wasn't he? But these are real living tip workers, and they basically went through loads of rubbish because this woman was distraught that she'd lost her £3,000 engagement ring, and they went through all the rubbish and they actually found it. So fucking fair play to them. They didn't have to do that. And I suppose while they were doing that, they wasn't doing all the other jobs shit jobs that they might have to do. So it's good of them to do it, and it's good that they found it. They've obviously got a sharp eye. I reckon I'd have found it if I'd have been there, like a needle in a haystack. But they've managed to come up with it, and hopefully she rewarded them with. In fact, I think that she did bought them loads of beers and whatever else, so they'll be happy with that, and they've done a good deed and made someone happy. So good for them. Superstar Adele. Here's somebody who won't be going through any rubbish bags for a £3,000 engagement ring. Adele raked in £59,452 a day last year, despite not having released a record since 2016. So that's the year, and she's kicked back, not had to do much, and she's still made £59,000 a day. Anyway, she might still go looking through bin bags for an engagement ring. What am I saying? That could be a sentimental value, but based on money, I'm saying that she wouldn't bother. She'd just go, fuck it, you know what I mean? But some things could be worth a fiver, and you'd go through the rubbish bags. Depends on who it belonged to, what the history of it is. So anyway, digging myself back out of that one in case anybody's offended. I don't want to be sent off to Points of View, you know, before this podcast becomes popular and starts making me some money. £59,000 a day. Never going to get anywhere near that. But anyway, good for her. If you can make it, hopefully she's sharing it with the little guy somewhere down the line. Debbie Harry, literally an interview with pop star Debbie Harry at a literary festival was so appalling that people got up and walked out. The Blondie singer was promoting her biography, Face It, at Cheltenham on Sunday. And one ticket holder wrote on Twitter, unstructured, uninformative, and not very entertaining. So they just don't get it, do they? She's a rock star, and she probably don't give a fuck. She probably doesn't want to be at a book fair with a load of fuddy-duddies, I'm going to call you. She probably not with her kind of people, but anyway, she probably should have just fucking tipped all the books on the floor and gone, I can't be bothered to be here, and walked out. And that's rock star for you. But anyway, they're just not her kind of people. You're not her kind of people. She's not your kind of people. I don't think she should be at Cheltenham Book Fair, to be fair. She should have been in some kind of rock situation, and should have had all the right people there, and they'd have listened to all, would have listened to her stories all night long. So next time, do what's it called? One of those kind of talks with Debbie Harry, and fuck the book fairs off. If you ask me, that's my opinion. Right, I'm going to finish up on the last couple of things. Alice Cooper, there you go. Alice Cooper, case in point, went into a shop in Brighton to buy something, but was it a record shop? No, he went into a clothes shop, and somebody was chatting to him and said, what's he doing in Brighton? Didn't know who he was, and he said, I'm in a concert. I'm doing a concert. Oh, well, who are you? Have you done anything that I would know? Anything that's online? And he started singing School's Out, School's Out for Summer. Everybody knows that. Anyway, but the kid didn't know who he was, what it was, what the song was, and apparently Alice Cooper was a bit pissed off about it because, kids out of touch. But there you go. It just goes to show that sometimes you're just in the wrong place, and people just don't get you, no matter who you are. Right, going to finish up on the best way to beat jet lag is to knock back a few glasses of red wine, the boss of British Airways believes. Willie Walsh, CEO of British Airways, owner, flies all over the world and said drinking red is the thing that helps him the most. Mr. Walsh, a former pilot, said a couple of glasses helps you to sleep. Hopefully not when he's bloody flying the plane, or not when he was flying the plane. You never know what's going on up there, do you? I imagine that if they're not flying with a glass of red wine or whatever else, I reckon there's plenty of times pilots have flew with hangovers. You just never know. But anyway, he fixes his hangover with red wine. Just don't drink the whole bottle, because you'll end up getting into grief on the plane, getting arrested and getting in the papers, and you'll embarrass yourself. So, right, I'm going to finish up on funerals, mourning, burst out, funerals, I'm going to say this right one of these times. Funeral mourners burst out laughing when a pre-recorded message from the ground said, "Let me out, it's fucking dark in here." So the guy played a joke on his guests, or if you want to call them guests at your funeral, that's what mine will be. Is that the priest? Is that the priest I can hear? This is Shay. I'm in the box. The granddad who died in Kilmarnock, he basically arranged the gag to give everybody a laugh, make it light-hearted. So that's good, because funerals are can be quite, can be hard work, can't they? It can be very sombre affairs. So I think to have a laugh and that would have been, give everybody something to laugh about and talk about on the way home. So good for him. And I think I'm going to leave it there. And I'm going to talk about one more thing. I had something else here. No, I think I'm going to leave it there. I should have just finished it on that one. I think that was the light-hearted moment. So I'm going to leave it there. Hope you've had a good day and enjoyed this podcast, and I'll speak to you again tomorrow. See you later. Bye-bye.